So I'm going to ask you now. Allah says, and what do you think is Laylatul Qadr? What do you think Laylatul Qadr is? Before we even get into that, I want someone to translate for me. I want someone to translate for me Al-Qadr or Laylatul Qadr. What does it mean? What does it translate to? Right? The night of revelation. Huh? I'll give you that, but I'm going to hold on to that. I'm going to ask all of our Arab brothers and sisters here. Does Al-Qadr mean revelation? Al-Qadr means the night? That's what Layl means. Backwards. Yes. Power. Al-Qadr means power. Iftah Al-Qadr. Yes. There's no straight up definition. Okay. Yes. Night of fortune. Wheel of fortune? Night of fortune. Yes. Destiny. Now, where's my... Yes. Huh? Able to? No. Looks like we're having a hard time. Yes. Miracle? Barakah? Where are our Arab brothers and sisters? Are they shy? You're Arab? Yes. The sister's sitting there going, you're going to ask 1,000 people before you pick me and I got the answer for you. That's the one she's got. So yes. I can't hear you. The most valuable night? Yes. Okay, wait. I need you to tell me what that sister's saying. The certain amount of something. Miqdar. Okay.
And I'm not playing everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not playing everybody. And I'm playing alone.
Oh, Allahu Akbar.
Okay.
Hershey's, Smarties, Kit Kat, Coffee Crisp, Arrow. Smarties? Allahu Akbar. Wait, sorry. Spanish. Okay, she said night of decree. Night of decree. What does that mean? That means the night that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's power and might is shown through Him giving orders and command to the angels who are now going to make sure what Allah wants to happen is going to happen. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lets things happen, but the angels have a responsibility to carry out those tasks. So Laylatul Qadr is the night of decree. Allah is going to reveal. Now pretty much all of what was mentioned is true as well. Okay? Pretty much all of what was mentioned by all of you is true as well. But we want to be very specific. Al-Qadr is the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What He has planned to happen, to take place. So Allah then says, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ. What do you think Laylatul Qadr is? And then He says, Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alfi shahr. Allah doesn't want us to sit there and try and figure out a dictionary definition for it, and then, okay, Al-Qadr means this, so Laylatul Qadr means the night of decree, and because it means night of decree, this is what happens. No, Allah's saying, you know what it means, and you don't know what Al-Qadr is, in the sense that you have no control over what Allah decrees. But He says, seek His pleasure through that night in doing what? What are we going to do? Salah, ibadah, right? Worship. How? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, or why? Because He says, Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alfi shahr. Laylatul Qadr is more beneficial than 1,000 months. A lot of people will say Laylatul Qadr is equal to 83 years of worship. Have you heard that before? Have you heard that before? Lots of people say Laylatul Qadr is better, or no, they say Laylatul Qadr is equal to 83 years of worship. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's completely wrong. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alfi shahr. It is better than 1,000 months. And what that means is not 1,001 months, 1,002 months. It's, you can't even imagine how beneficial this night is. When Allah says 1,000 is way more than 70. For our brothers and sisters who studied a little bit of the Arabic language, they know the number 7 is a number that's used sometimes, or 70, used to describe a large amount of something. So when the Prophet ﷺ says, make 70 excuses for your brother or sister, when you see someone doing something wrong, make 70 excuses for them. Do you ever go and take a piece of paper and say, all right, my brother upset me, and I made this excuse and that excuse, 3, 4, 5, 68, 69, 70, and then my brother does the same mistake again, and they say, khalas, I made 70 excuses, I can no longer forgive him anymore. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to continuously make excuses for that person, right? To encourage them to do what is right. And so here when Allah says, Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alfi shahr, it's better than 1,000 months. So when you give sadaqah on that night, people say it's like giving 83 years of sadaqah. No, that sadaqah is so valuable. On the Day of Judgment, we will see the rewards for it. The qiyam that we do at night, standing in salah, we will see the rewards for what we've done when we stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the Day of Judgment. And that includes everything that we do. So don't put a limit to the blessings of Allah, especially on this night of Laylatul Qadr. Then he says, تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالرُّوحُ فِيهَا بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِمْ مِنْ كُلِّ أَمْرٍ. Allah says, on that night, تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ, the angels descend. Did you know that right now, the angels are actually around us? Did you know that right now, angels are placing their wings upon your shoulders and your back? Did you know that right now, as we're sitting here, angels are all around us, protecting us? No one can harm us? Did you know that right now, not only are the angels protecting us, all of the creation of Allah is making dua for your forgiveness. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. When you gather in the house of Allah, as in a place where Allah is worshipped, the Prophet ﷺ says, and you remember Allah through His book, through the Quran, the angels lower their wings upon you, protecting you. Like a bird protects its chicks, right? The little birds inside the nest. It protects the birds by putting its wing over it. If it rains, the rain doesn't touch them. So they lower their wings upon us. And the fish in the sea, hopefully you didn't eat sushi today, because that fish could have been making dua for you, right? The fish in the sea, and the ant in the ant hole, meaning all of the creation of Allah, even the ones that you can't see, are making dua for your forgiveness. Allah, that's amazing. Now Allah says about Laylatul Qadr that the angels descend, تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالرُّوحُ فِيهَا. What is the ruh? What is the ruh? Yes. Jibreel. Very good. I gave you a chocolate already, didn't I? So now you're going to share this with someone. So, Jibreel is among the other angels. So Allah singles out Jibreel because he is the leader of the angels. He's the most noble of the angels. And he says, تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالرُّوحُ فِيهَا بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِمْ. With the permission of Allah, they come down in kulli amr. And they bring with them every single matter. Last year, on the night of Laylatul Qadr, were you here? How do you know? How do we know which night is Laylatul Qadr? Regardless, last year, on the night of Laylatul Qadr, Allah sent the command through the angels that you would be sitting here today. Allah